Hello people, it's the TF32 here again, and this is my 50th episode special. Now, as promised from my last episode, this episode is going to rely entirely on Mario. And I'm going to review every single game that I happen to own. But first, a little history about how I got into this kind of stuff.
So at the beginning of my gaming career, all I had was a PC, a PS1, and later I upgraded to a PS2. And it wasn't until I went to my friend's house where I played Mario Kart 64, which was the first Nintendo game that I ever played, and also the first Mario game that I played. And then a few years later, one of my friends introduced me to where it all started, or where it most notably started, Super Mario Bros. For the NES. They got it on the Virtual Console, and I have it on the Virtual Console now, and ever since I played that, I've been to fantastic, great platforming actions, such as Castlevania, and most notably Mega Man, as seen on my sprite. But those are for different stories. And as of today, I'm still a fan of all the games that Mario and Luigi have to offer to us Nintendo fans.
So with that out of the way, let's quit talking and let's start rocking. We're completing the Mario game collection that I happen to own, with all the games here. Well, at least in actual mass format, physically, that I happen to own. In other words, these are the games that I own in its original format, which it was intended to be in. No emulators or anything. I have plenty of ROMs for that, but I already did plenty of that. So here we go. Here are the games that I own physically. It's also the United States birthday. Let's continue to salute our country as is. So, the earliest game that I happen to own physically is Mario Kart DS. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good game. Yeah, it's basically all I have to say about it, but it's a cool racing game, as many of the Mario Kart games are. As mentioned, Mario Kart 64, that's also a good game. I have that on the Virtual Console as well. But here you can choose between 32 tracks, 16 regulated, and 16 retro. And you also get 12 characters, 8 which they come with, and 4 which can be unlocked if you play it long enough, and if you go through the Grand Prix. And I think this was also the first Mario Kart game to utilize the Nintendo Wi-Fi connectivity. Pretty cool. And also, there are the Mario and Sonic Olympic games. I meant to comment on the summer and winter games for the DS. I meant to comment on the 2008 and 2010 games, but I lost them and now I don't know where they are, but I still have the original case for them. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games I only played once, so I don't know much about that. But ever since then, and you saw my London 2012 review, can't wait for those. This was the first game that brought in 4 extra characters. I believe Donkey Kong, something Metal Sonic or something, Silver, and Bowser Jr. That one comes with 20 characters, this one comes with 16. However, the graphics are still the same. And also, there are the Mario Party games. The earliest one I have physically is the DS version. And no, I will not be doing any playing on the screen, believe it or not. I'm just reviewing them by hand. That'll just be too much work for me. So basically, you get the idea from Mario Party 8 and Wii Party. It's basically the same idea, but here, unfortunately, there are only 8 characters. You only get to choose between Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Wario, Waluigi, Yoshi, and Toad. That's it. It's still a pretty fun game, though. I highly recommend it. And also, shouldn't I be reviewing this right at the start? New Super Mario Brothers. I mean, come on. This was the best-selling game for the DS. And I believe it is still a fantastic game. The graphics look similar to Mario Kart DS and Mario Party DS. But this is still a really fun game. And it introduces the Mega Mushroom. At first I thought it was Super Mushroom, but then I figured, why not call it the Mega Mushroom? It's bigger than Super. So yeah. And I think this is one of the only games where Luigi, if not the only game, where Luigi can be played one player. You just gotta hold LR and then hit start. Then you'll be able to play as Luigi. It's no real difference, it's just physical appearance. Or graphical appearance, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I believe those are all the DS games that I happen to own. So, the earliest one for the Wii that I happen to own is Super Mario Galaxy. And I still think Super Mario 64 is better because at least you get to punch. In this game, you're replaced with this silly spin, making it a little tough to identify where you're going to hit somebody, and you'll end up getting hit. But it's still a pretty fun game. I haven't completed it, but to be honest, 3D Mario just isn't my thing. The games I'm really into Mario-wise are 2D or 2.5D, much like New Super Mario Brothers, and racing, much like Mario Kart. But still, this is a pretty fun game. I recommend you get this. And there's also Super Mario Galaxy 2, but I'll get to that in a bit. There's also Mario Party 8. It includes more characters, but of course never Bowser or Donkey Kong. There's the people who own the stages. However, you can also play as Dry Bones and Boo. I'm not sure why. But still certainly an upgrade from the other game. I really recommend you check this out. There are also games where you can play as your Miis. There also is Mario Party 9, but I haven't really heard good things about it, and I don't really plan to get it, but still, much more memorable than that. Mario Party 8, good game. And then there's Mario Kart Wii, honestly my all-time favorite Mario Kart game in existence. There's also Mario Kart 7, but to be honest, in that game, everything that made this game a success, yeah, that's gone. The motorcycles are gone, the most memorable characters, most notably Funky Kong, are gone, and they're replaced with these silly enemies from other Mario games, not the traditional characters. And also, for once, Wario isn't unlockable. Why? I'm not sure at all, but that is just crazy. But anyway, this is a really fun game. This one also utilizes the Wi-Fi ability. Unfortunately, though, it actually can use 4 Wii remotes. The Wi-Fi only allows 2. I guess that is for... But I think that makes sense, because if there were 4 screens, it would be too much data load, and it would be extremely laggy. I always use it with Nunchuck. It's much easier that way. I always use Funky Kong, because he's awesome. Most notably, the Flame Runner. So, Mario Kart Wii, a great game. And also, another thing, it's the second best-selling Wii game in existence, but I'll get to those by the end of the summer, just about. And then, there are the Super Smash Brothers games. One of my dear friends really should be watching this right now. Super Smash Brothers Brawl is a great game, but I just suck at it. I always use the GameCube controller or the Classic controller. You can use that. You can also do Wi-Fi on it. And it also includes new characters that never appeared in Melee or the N64 version, such as Pit from Kid Icarus and Meta Knight from the Kirby franchise. And also, it also includes Solid Snake from Metal Gear and Sonic the Hedgehog from You Know Where. So yeah, this one is also one of the best-selling games. It at least makes the top 10. But still not one of my better picks, because using the controls for for what they offer here, it just doesn't work. There are some others. I think there is a Super Smash Brothers game planning to be released on the Wii U or the 3DS, but I'm not sure which one it's going to be released on. Okay, so we've gone over the best Mario fighting game of the Wii, at least. The best Mario racing game of all time. Here is the best Mario platforming game of all time. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. This is the first one that utilizes the ability to use 4 playable characters on one screen, making a very cooperative gameplay experience. Here we have Mario, Luigi, Yellow Toad, and Blue Toad. And here you see the Yoshis that 3 of them are riding on. However, you cannot ride them in different stages, much like Super Mario World, which is pretty sad, because you have to leave your old buddy. But this is a really fun game, but it's also really hard. My most hated stage is World 9-4, but that's for another story. I also like its fine red case. So you can play cooperatively or battle for coins. I like to do freestyle mode because battles for coins, there's these 5 bonus stages that I really like. So anyway, there are new power-ups that came in this game, which involved the propeller mushroom, the ice flower, and the penguin suit. The ones that I always like to use are the propeller mushroom and the penguin suit. Propeller suit is my favorite though, because you get to fly. But you can only use it once while you're airborne. Even if you bounce off something, it will... Even if you bounce off an enemy or kick off a wall, you cannot use it again. You only have one use in the air, and that's it. Alright, now it's time for the sequel of Super Mario Galaxy. This is Super Mario Galaxy 2. This was... Well, actually, before I get to that, here's an interesting thing about New Super Mario Bros. Wii that I was thinking about. This thing was actually thought about for 15 years, and finally they came up with it. That's the one detail I wanted to add about this. And there also is a sequel called New Super Mario Bros. 2 coming out for the 3DS. I'm really looking forward to that. And it pretty much brings all the items back from Super Mario Bros. 3. They'll be back in full force, and it's probably going to be something like Super Mario Bros. 3, only with better graphics, and it's on the 3DS. So yeah, anyway, back to Super Mario Bros. 2. Galaxy 2. Luigi doesn't come, at least not yet, I'm not sure, because this is a pretty big game. So, here, there are some new features. You get to ride Yoshi, you get to be Cloud Mario, Rock Mario, you get to get Blimp Yoshi and Dash Yoshi. And you can also play cooperatively in co-star mode, where the second player can just hold a Wii remote and just swing the Wii remote to attack enemies. But the one criticism I have about it is that the game is really hard, but I saw some videos of the final boss, and the final form of the final boss is ridiculously easy. I don't know what the purpose is, just to get to an easy boss. But then, I think it all is part of the story, so whatever. And it's still a pretty fun game. It certainly makes the top 13 of the list. Well, at least the top 15, really. And also, remember the first 3 Mario games, or really the first 4? I did Super Mario 1, 2, there's Super Mario 1, 2, 3, and USA. They were all on Super Mario All-Stars. So, let's take a look at what this has to offer. This was actually a limited edition, as I see here. I'm one of the lucky ones. I got it for Christmas. Well, for the last Christmas. Well, 2 Christmases ago. Here we see we have the 4 games in All-Stars form. This was also released on the Super Nintendo version. I had it on my ZSNES emulator on my PC before this came out. So I would have let this just pass, but also I couldn't deny the fact that it had a history. It had a soundtrack and a history booklet, which is really cool. So let's take a look at that stuff now. I just need to get this open. So here we have the actual game. This cover was used on the Super Famicom, only the background was orange. And these were the actual Japanese covers of those games. And it's basically a description of all the games. There's no differences, it's just the Super Nintendo. And also, and now this note in little letters, it says, this game was originally released for the Super NES, and the ability to use the Wii controls has been added to this version. So, they were somehow able to convert those to there, which is pretty cool, but, whatever. I'm more used to playing on my PC anyway, so I just never bother playing it. But also, there is the history CD, the music CD. Here we have a picture of an old TV with Super Mario Brothers on it, and your NES. It's basically a soundtrack. On the back, you get a soundtrack of all the games. If you have good lighting, you could actually see the golden letters, but I could just barely see them. If you're in bright light, you'll have lots of trouble reading it. And also, there's the history booklet. Now, if you look closely, yes, we have a picture of Mario, but if you look close enough, you'll see that in each pixel, it represents a game. And these were all Japanese pictures of these are all pictures of the original game's Japanese format. Pretty cool. Like, for example, it says Super Mario USA over here. The Super Mario World title looks a bit different. That's how it was back then. There are also these Japanese symbols for New Super Mario Brothers and SMB Wii. So, yeah. Really cool. From Super Mario Brothers all the way to Super Mario Galaxy 2. And last but not least, we have Mario and Sonic, the London 2012 Olympic Games, but there's nothing much I really need to say about because I already reviewed it. But may as well. I cannot wait for those 2012 Olympic Games. And I am a swimmer, so I'm looking forward to the swimming events. And you also get these mini games, but I never commented on them because I didn't want to spend too much time reviewing the game. So yeah, I cannot wait for those Olympics. Alright guys, this was my 50th episode special, and this shows how much I love Mario. So, you're probably thinking, isn't it weird that you're not actually reviewing any games on your TV? Well, I would, but it's just too much work for me to review. This is too much in progress, and I just don't want to have too much work. I was just reviewing every game that I happen to own and how awesome they are. So, I hope you enjoyed a great 50 episodes so far. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. This is the TF32's signing out. Thanks for watching.